Welcome back to another Tying Tuesday here at AvidMax. My name is Taylor, and today we got a spicy little dry fly pattern that I love to fish on high alpine lakes. This one is called the Alpine Ant. It's a super easy pattern to tie. You can bust out, a dozen of them in no time at all. Yeah, with that being said, let's jump right into it here. So to start out, for the hook, I'm using the Umpqua X Series Stubby T, and I'm tying this one on a size 16 here, but I really like to fish these down into an 18, and for really finicky fish up to a 20. So for thread, I'm using UTC 70 denier in black, and we will just lay down a thread base here. But the reason I like using this Stubby T is it is a bit of a wider gap. I think that helps with my hookup ratio on fishing such a small hook. I haven't had any issues with it bending out, which is nice. Yeah, so after laying down the thread base, what we will do is put in our first little segment of the ant body. So I'll prep my thread with a little bit of dubbing wax, and I'm going to use some super fine dry fly dubbing from Hareline in black. And we're gonna grab a nice little dab, I guess, whatever you think is appropriate, because we can always take some off or add some more in, but we want to put in that back body segment. So to do that, we're just going to lay some thread on top of each other, kind of put it in a ball shape, keep working the same area over and over. I'm actually going to add a little bit more here, so I want it to be a little bigger than that. So we'll add another dubbing noodle. And same thing, work that into itself. There we go. All right, so as you can see, I kind of put that on the back end of the hook, where, it looks natural, just like an ant. Next, we are going to tie in some dry fly hackle. So I have just a plain black dry fly hackle feather from pretty high up on the neck, just to keep it super small, since we are tying a small bug. So we'll tie in shiny side up. If I can get it situated correctly. Go, a couple thread wraps to secure that, and we're just going to spiral wrap this through the body of the fly here. Now it's gonna get a little messy. I'm definitely not the best hackle wrapper, but in my opinion, it doesn't really matter. All right, just to get a couple strands in there. Oh, sorry, we're gonna start over. Like I said, definitely not the best wrapper, never claimed to be, but it is a good one to practice if you are new to tying dries. And I have been quoted on this very channel saying I do not like to tie dries, and this is exactly why. So, but we'll work through it. Bear with me here. All right, get a couple thread wraps. Lock that baby down. Yes. Trim out the excess, and yeah, this is a messy one. All right, there we go. Yeah, if you want better advice on how to wrap hackle, unfortunately look up another video, but it's enough to do the job, enough to catch some fish. So once I get that dry fly hackle in there, just kind of make it look like some legs basically, I will come in with a little bit of flash. So right now I'm using some Vivus like body quill that I've kind of splayed up, separated a little bit. We're just gonna lay that right back behind, and I want it to come maybe to just the middle part of that body segment. So we'll pinch that in. Perfect, tie that in just for a little bit of flash. Trim her out, and then we'll come in with the main wing case, which I am using bleached elk hair. So just like an elk hair caddis, this stuff floats great. And if you look at a picture of a flying ant, which is what this kind of imitates, that wing case is very, very similar to the color of elk hair here. So we're gonna tie that in, lock it down, and I want those elk hairs to come up maybe just a little bit past the body. Again, if you're looking at a picture online, they do have a relatively long wing. And that's tied in. Come here, and I will trim that as close as I possibly can to the hook. Give it a couple more thread wraps, and then we're going to come in and put in the head of the ant. So same thing, just like the body, we're going to use that same dry fly dubbing. Grab a dime-sized little chunk of it, maybe. Roll that into a dubbing noodle. And we are just going to do that same thing, build up that nice ant-shaped head. And come in with our whip finisher. And easy enough. That is the Alpine Ant. This fly, like I said, is super simple, but it absolutely wrecks fish in alpine environments. Flying ants are the most consistent food source for alpine lakes year-round, and it's small enough to fool finicky trout. Unfortunately, more and more people are getting up to these alpine lakes, and the trout, in my opinion, are becoming a little more pressured than usual. So this is just kind of a super simple, minimalistic bug that fools even the wariest cutthroat nowadays. So yeah, as always, you can find the materials on our website. Feel free to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a ton. And stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.